So in this video, we're going to be talking about animation easing inside Drift. And you'll notice that all of the Drift and Drift Pro stacks have these things called animation easing. What is that? Essentially, it is the way a thing goes from point A to point B, right? Instead of it being a linear time, it could go a little bit slow and then speed up towards the end, right? That sort of tracking has to do with animation easing. So you'll notice if we set something fun to like bounce, we have this really cool bounce animation, right? So it gives us a different feel. It's still going from point A to point B, but the way it gets there is very different. Elastic can be a fun one, right? So that kind of gives you that elastic feeling. Again, the animation goes from point A to point B, but we get a very different look and feel. Now, how do we know which ones we want, right? How do we know what all of these are? So if you hover over, hopefully you know that when you hover over tooltips, I try to give you as good a documentation as I can built right into every stack. And when you hover over this easing, you'll notice that there is a URL there. Okay, let's visit the URL. Now, the power of Drift, as you probably know, is behind this library called GreenSock. And they have an amazing easing visualizer that I figured, why recreate the wheel? They have a great job here. So here you can play with, you'll notice that all the settings here are the same. You have power 1. None is essentially a linear animation. It just goes from A to B at a constant rate. Okay, if we go power 1, that gives us a slightly different, if you notice the timing curve here, it kind of starts off fast and then it goes a little bit slower towards the end, right? And if we go to power 4, that's even faster and then slower at the end, okay? Then we have things such as in, out, in, out, right? So if we go in, you'll notice that it's the opposite. It goes slow, then fast. It's basically the opposite of the out curve, okay? Then we have in, out, which gives us the slow, fast, slow curves, okay? So in, out gives you slow, fast, slow. Out will give you fast, slow. And then in will give you slow and then fast. So that's kind of the types for in, out, and out. And the rest of these here are just kind of changing of those lines. We'll see that back kind of goes, and it goes negative in reverse and then makes faster progress. Okay. So this is a great visualizer to see how everything is animating. And just to give you another glimpse inside, again, here, these timing curves are in, out, and out. And then the easing are all the various types of timing curves that we have available to us.